On this week's episode of Bungalower on the Bus,
we're breaking down how coronavirus is affecting our city beautiful and what you can do about it.
Welcome to Bungalower and the Bus. I am the Bus John Busdecker.
And I'm Brendan O'Connor from Bungalower.com.
Oh, Brendan, are you down?
Yeah, I'm just not feeling so inspired.
I know, man. I always thought you'd say I'm not feeling so good.
I don't know. I can't make jokes about that because I got some hate mail last week after I went to the Jim Colbert show with, like, at the tail end of my cold.
Yeah.
People thought I was, like, a bomb.
Yeah.
They thought I was trying to kill Jim Colbert. The mail I got, John.
How many? You got mail? Somebody wrote you a letter? Oh, email. All right.
Email.
Well, if they were really mad, they'd write a letter.
Yeah. Well, she couldn't really spell that much. The one that wasn't that bad. Here on Bungalower on the Bus, we talk about all the top headlines in Orlando's downtown bungalow neighborhoods, like College Park, where we are tonight.
We are. We're in my backyard, Brendan. You and I are social distancing.
Yeah, this is safe space.
It sure is. We decided not to record this week out and about because of all the things going on in the world and here in Orange County and Orlando, all the coronavirus-related precautions.
Yeah, you don't want to linger in closed-in spaces too long.
No, and so we decided to go to my house. We're here.
And we're 6 feet away from each other.
And we're outside.
Outside. It's beautiful.
That's right.
And we just had a pickup picnic.
We did. So normally, if you listen to our show, Brendan and I typically go to a restaurant, go to a bar. We usually eat a bunch of food. We take some photos. We put them online to show you what we've been eating.
That's our job.
That is our job. But tonight, we still ate a lot of food. We still took a lot of photos. But instead, we went and did some carry out to some local restaurants.
Yeah, everybody's trying to do pickup and delivery right now.
Mostly because they have no idea what the laws and rules are here in the state of Florida.
Which we're going to talk about. Like, the changes, almost hourly, things are changing, right?
Seems like it.
And we'll talk about that. But right now, restaurants are supposed to have 50% of their capacity inside. You're limiting how many people can be there. You can't have any groups of more than 10 at one table.
I don't even have 9 friends, so we're good.
I know. I'm worth 2. And then, it's crazy. So they're really promoting takeout and delivery and
curbside pickup.
Curbside pickup, so you don't have to touch nobody. And so some of the places I went to, like I went to Palms, so I called ahead.
Palms Sandwicheria.
Sandwicheria, and you can pay right there you pay right there in your car. I went to Orlando Meats.
I love Orlando Meats.
And Ivanhoe Village, and I paid and ordered everything online, and just rolled up and I went inside to get it, but you can tell them to come outside and bring it to you.
Great.
Yeah, so Stasio's is still great. It's larger, so you don't have as much room. I just went in and grabbed some extra sides. But, where did you go?
I went to some spots in my neighborhood here in the local, Brendan, or in my local neighborhood. I went to the local.
College Park.
Here in College Park. I got some wings, got some medium wings. I don't like the spicy ones.
No, too spicy.
Too spicy.
I like the mediums, too.
Yeah, I like to pretend like they're hot, but they're not.
No. Goldilocks. The Goldilocks of chicken wings.
That's right. So I went there, got some chicken wings. I went to Jade, got some sushi.
Oh, Jade New Asian sushi. Yeah, they're so good.
Got some sushi there and some seaweed salad. I got some wine over at Digress. My buddies over at Digress are doing 15% off all wine and beer. They will do online ordering. You can order online, and they'll bring it out to your car if you want.
They will do curbside pickup. And actually, Misty Heath, who is our sales exec at Bungalower, has just started working there part-time.
All right.
Earning some extra cash. And so tell her you say, hey. If you
I will. They got all kinds of wine there. And like I said, they'll bring it out to your car. I also went to, I got a lot of food. I was hungry.
Yeah, we got a lot of food.
I went to, now I'm going to forget the name.
Trattori?
I got to go look it up now.
It's tortellinis in there.
It's not tortellinis.
Tortellini Trattoria.
Tortano.
Italiano.
Oh, man. Hold on.
No,
All right, Brendan. I Googled it.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Tornatore's.
Yeah, good.
Tornatore's. It's on Edgewater. They do pizza and stuff.
Yeah.
But they also have a take and bake freezer right by the counter.
I like it already.
Yeah, they have like lasagna. It's food, Brendan.
Oh.
They have lasagna and pizza and all kinds of Italian specialties, and it's frozen and it's not cooked yet. And then you bring it home, and then you can cook it in your oven
and do it yourself.
Yeah, and so I got a veggie pizza and a pepperoni pizza. They were $6.95.
Like DiGiorno's.
Exactly. Only it's
but
not
better.
Delivery. It's actually take and bake. So yeah, we got a sampling of local cuisine for tonight's episode.
And I think that's something that people should be looking at. We're trying to support local businesses. You know, you might be nervous to go in, but they need your help right now. And so if you can just swing by, get them to bring it straight up to your car, why not? And you're also supporting them. So I like this idea of a pickup picnic, John.
Pickup picnic.
Hashtag pickup picnic.
And if you want to pick somebody up while you're having your pickup picnic, that's okay too.
Yeah, I couldn't stop you if you wanted to.
But you got to stay 6 feet apart from them.
Yeah, there's a play. Well, I won't get into it. There's a play I saw called Bent, and they're in jail together. These two dudes, and they like basically they can't touch each other, but they like make love with words.
Oh,
it's really hot.
It sounds good,
but it happens in like an internment camp, so it's not great.
Okay,
but still that beautiful scene.
All right,
so let's talk about things.
Yeah. So what's going on, Brendan? This has been a big change from last week.
Yeah.
I mean, last week there was rumblings. I mean, people knew this was going on with coronavirus.
Yeah, it was like thunder in the distance.
Yes,
you know, we're like in it right now.
Oh, we're in it. Yeah, and we may be in it for a while.
I actually don't even feel like we're like in it. Like I feel like next week it will feel like we're in the eye of the storm.
Okay.
And I say that just because I've been updating. We have some lists, you know, on bungalower.com. There's a coronavirus update list, things that you need to know with breaking news, things that affect you on Bungalower. And we just keep updating the same post, and it's separated by dates.
And it's things that have closed, canceled, postponed.
Canceled, yeah. Or like yesterday, an update was that Orlando Weekly laid off 13 employees. We're going to be talking about that later. The Diocese of Orlando suspended Mass to control the spread of the virus.
What are you going to do on Sunday now, Brendan? Still not go to Mass.
Still not go to Mass.
Now you can stream it.
That's great. That sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
I would rather be an armchair Catholic.
Uh-huh.
That sounds great.
You don't even have to wear clothes if you don't want to. You can watch.
I wouldn't anyway. That's why I'm not allowed back. So things like that. So the updates are always coming. It's changing every hour, and right now it's a lot of restaurants and things adjusting their hours to accommodate rules coming down from the state and from Mayor Buddy Dyer. Also, hotels are starting to close.
We've had some big. I mean, the Hyatt Regency on International Drive is closed
through May.
And a lot of this is, obviously people just aren't traveling right now. They're staying home all over the country, all over the world, and so you don't have reservations. People aren't coming here. These big hotels are saying, "Well, we're not going to stay open if nobody's going to be here," and that's just the first one that has said we're going to shut down. And I think Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings said that he knows of more. There's been rumblings of more. They just haven't announced it yet.
I think he said in an interview he was in a conference call, John, or something with some other property owners. He said that they will be in the coming weeks.
Yeah.
A lot of Disney hotels shut down.
Yeah, I think they shut down.
They shut down first.
Yeah, and Disney World has shut down, and we talked about this last week. I think they were just talking about it. They just announced it last week, but now they're shut down. So is Universal, so is SeaWorld. I mean, all these attractions are...
Schools, too, are not going to be coming back.
Yeah, schools were supposed to be out for a week for spring break, and then they were going to be out an extra week.
Right.
And now they're out till April 15th, and that's getting close to the end of the school year.
And they're saying there won't be any exams.
Yeah, no, they're canceling tests. Yeah.
And so you'll have an option of if you want to... repeat your child if you want to.
I heard that today, and I don't know why. I feel like I'd be mad at my parents if they're like, "You got to go back to 10th grade."
But like, I don't know this. This is a missing piece for me, John. But is the Orange County Public Schools going to maybe present them with things that they should be studying the rest of the curriculum for the year so they can do it themselves at home?
I think right now what they're trying to figure out is how can they do online learning for all of these students throughout the state. I think that's what they're trying to do. I think the issues are going to be, just like any time, you have a lot of students that, if I was a 10th grade student and I had to do online learning, no problem. I got a computer, I got internet, whatever. But not everybody's like that. And then if you have a house that has 3 kids, it's easy for some people, but it's not easy for others.
They're promising for households that don't have internet that they're going to be supplied with hotspots. Internet hotspots,
okay,
and, laptops and things.
But
they're going to try and hook them up. But how long does that take to unfold? Right?
And hotspots don't. I mean, they stream video, but go back to what I just said. You got 3 kids in the house streaming video on a hotspot, like that. That's not practical.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, it's going to be a tough situation with what they do with all these kids. But you got to do something. You can't be like, all right, don't do nothing. You got to figure out a plan.
And it's hard because you can't send them to traditional other outlets, like or organizations that can help with that because you can't congregate.
No.
Which is the whole reason why the schools are closed.
And there was a big issue this week where the superintendent, Barbara Jenkins, she said all of our teachers have to come back next week, and teachers were livid about that.
They've since backed down.
Yeah, they were going to make them come in after spring break, and now they're not. And I don't know when they're going to come back. I don't know when the teachers in Orange County, but I think other counties, a lot of those teachers are going to come back. I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, they're going to be in empty classrooms.
Well, no, because maybe, right? And that's the big debate right now, right? Are the kids, if they're not going to be tested, and ultimately the rest of these next few months are going to be a wash, academically speaking, because you could just reset and go back next year and hope that we don't get another pandemic or something. So the idea is, will kids show up if the schools reopen?
That's a good question. I mean, you and I, we don't have kids, and so we don't have this dilemma. But would you send your kid back to a school that they could possibly get coronavirus? I'm not saying they're
by
going
being
to.
Exposed. Well, that's okay. So somebody just said, like, when everything gets back to normal, right? And in my head, I was like, normal or like the new normal, because this is going to be, we're not going to have vaccines for like a year
at least,
maybe 15 months, right? I guess is the process.
Trump's going to do it tomorrow.
They have to test them, right?
It's going to be at least 12 months or so,
and observing and making sure it doesn't come back. And so it takes, I guess, like a year to 15 months just to develop a vaccine. And so this is a long-term shift that we're going to see that we need to respond to, and that's really tough for not only just schools and everyday things like that, but also just jobs. When you look at Orange County, which is tourism focused,
and this is the big conversation here in Central Florida is, how does this destroy our economy? Because tourism is an industry where if you don't have any money or the economy's bad, you're not going to go traveling.
Right. Yeah. What do you do, John?
I don't know. And then you have all these people that work in these industries where they clean rooms and they're housekeepers and they have lower wage jobs, but they rely on people traveling here. But if nobody's traveling here, they don't have work.
And they literally, I think they just voted and passed the package where everybody gets cash from the government.
Right? I don't know if that completely is. I mean, it's Thursday night right now.
They're voting on it.
They are talking about it.
What it is, what the package is, and it's $1,200.
Yes.
I don't know if
per
adult, just one time,
maybe twice. Once again,
two payments.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 2 payments. This could all change between now and when this actually airs and when you're listening to it.
Because I was hearing, people were saying it could be like a monthly payment until this is over. Who knows?
I think they'll do it in increments. They would do it once or twice and then see how that goes and then keep doing it as it goes.
As needed.
But, I mean, that's a radical thing. I mean, that hasn't happened in a long time. I read this today. It did happen in 2008. During that crash, they had mailed checks. I think it was $600 per adult and $300 per kid. Now it's twice that. I mean, does that mean this is twice as bad? I mean, it might be. I mean, I just don't know.
It happened so quickly.
So quick. I mean,
there's no
2 weeks ago, things were, at least in this country, things were normal and fine.
Yeah. Well, and the State Department just issued a level 4 travel advisory to international travel, so they're asking all Americans that are out and about to come home, or they have to prepare to shelter in place for the foreseeable future.
And this leads me to the Canadian thing. I mean,
Sure.
they're
Closing the border
there for all non-essential travel, is what they say.
Right.
And so, like, I mean, does that mean like you couldn't go home if you wanted to?
I can, because I'm a Canadian national, so I can be allowed back in. But Scotty wouldn't be allowed to come with me.
Okay. And my sister and her family and my brother-in-law, they live in Toronto.
Right.
So I probably couldn't go there, and they can't come here.
No.
Although she's an American citizen.
And if you don't have a passport, you have about 72 hours to get one right now, is what I'm hearing. Or otherwise, you're just not going to be allowed to get a passport. They're not going to issue passports because they're locking it down.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. Now I need to get a passport.
Yeah, but that goes back to the whole international tourist. I mean, that's a lot of people that come to Orlando from England, from Brazil, from all over, and that all goes to zero. I mean, that's a lot of missing jobs there.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, and I don't know what that means holistically.
I don't either.
Right.
And I think it takes time for people to say, all right, now it's time to go travel again. Now it's time to go spend money on a trip to Disney World. I mean, that's not a need anybody has. I mean,
I disagree, because there are people who do that, right? There are people who save years to do that.
It's true.
It's not just a vacation for Americans. I actually think they treat it more as like a mecca, like you have to go. And I think the core bit of business that Disney gets are from people who go there like generationally. So I don't think we're experiencing a shift that will destroy that. I just think it's going to delay it.
I think maybe if things continue how they are, even if they get better, I think the crowds will be different. I think there'll be less people there. You don't think so?
I think yes, but I think it'll pick back up.
You're right. People will always make sacrifices to come to Disney World. I agree with that.
Yeah, whether that's smart or not, I don't
yeah.
want to say.
No, that's fine. It's your own money. Do whatever you want to do.
Please
I guess.
Come here.
Yeah, we need it.
But I don't see that happening. I see it happening for the short term, yes, but not long term,
right.
Unless something like crazy happens.
And flights are the same way. I mean, our airport is at, I think I read 30% or something like that. They're at 30% capacity.
Well,
this is one of their busiest times of the year.
And they're all waiting for a bailout now. All of these, like Delta.
Yeah.
Right? What did they say? 75% of their fleet has been grounded.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, nobody's flying. And if they are flying, there's the planes are at, 20-30% capacity.
The sky is falling. I have to say, Mills 50 is quiet, man.
Really? I mean, I feel like when I drive home from work, it's not nearly as busy. Mm-hmm. I mean, when I drive to work, it's not nearly as busy.
Oh, should we change a little bit?
Can we?
We can't keep talking about it.
We got to talk about Fringe, though.
Fringe is done.
Yeah, Fringe. I saw that today. Fringe has canceled, or the Orlando Fringe Festival.
Their 2020 festival.
And this is one of my favorite festivals of the year. I love going to Fringe. I don't go to 50 shows during it, but I try to go most nights. I hang out. I see a few shows. I drink a few drinks.
If you're not familiar with it, it's one of the longest running Fringe theater festivals, and it is the longest running international Fringe festival or something in the country.
Yeah.
And they bring in hundreds of theatrical productions from around the world to like Lock Haven Park and Ivanhoe Village.
And Fringe just means kind of odd theater. That's my best way to describe it.
Yeah, like Fringe from the peripheries. It's people who are like testing new things out.
Yeah.
And they're showcasing things.
It's like naked dudes sometimes.
Sometimes, or it could be, there was this one woman in a mask and she was an old man. And she told the story of this old man that stole the moon. And it was the most beautiful piece of theater that I've ever seen. And it happened.
I didn't go to that one. I should have.
The old man who stole the moon.
Yeah. Is that what it's called? I thought it was called Moon.
It might have been called Moon.
Yeah, I
in
missed
my head
that
it was
one.
that.
That was supposed to be a really good one. I missed it.
Fantastic piece of theater. So the executive director, Alana Friskix, just announced earlier today on Thursday that they are putting it on hold. And they'll come back next year. But if you want to make a donation, you have until April 30th for that United Arts Collaborative campaign, where if you donate to arts organizations now, they will match it for an additional 15%, whatever they raise. Everybody's asking for money right now, so it's a hard ask. But like this festival welcomed 75,000 people last year,
At least, yeah.
And they sold $450,000 in tickets, which ticket money goes back to the actors.
And those actors, they're not all local. A lot of them come from all over the world just to perform here in Orlando, and they come every year. They try to come every year.
But local ones, they get a lot of that change, and they depend on that money.
They do.
And with a lot of them, they were also working at the parks. So now we're looking at a whole group of people who were their day jobs was working at the theme parks, and then their night jobs was doing local theater. And man, are they going to get hard right now? And there's not a lot of support programs for out of work actors.
No,
right? And
not here in Orlando, especially.
And generally, you just be like, "Well, go get a job, a serving job." Not going to help you either right now.
Yeah, because you don't need 10 servers if you don't have a dine-in restaurant anymore. You just have carry-out. You just need 1 or 2 people to run that.
So my heart goes out to the hard-hit theatrical community.
And we sort of touched on this a second ago with Disney World, but all the things that are around Disney World. I'm not even talking about physically. I mean people that do other jobs for the theme parks, whether it's shooting video for something, or whether it's making sets for something. They don't all have to work for those companies to be affected by this, because there's so many third-party vendors that deal with all these different attractions and hotels and whatever that are going to be affected, because if the parks are closed, they don't need to operate.
Yep. Temuco White House. This is kind of an uplifting.
All right.
Let's take a break and say something nice. Temuco White House, that's that. It was a house turned concert venue.
Yeah, love it.
Benoit Glazer, the French Canadian who's the music director, or was the music director over at Cirque du Soleil, started this. He would have concerts in his house.
By Boone High School, right?
Yeah, right by Boone High School.
Summerlin. And
now it's one of those beautiful, most special concert venues in town, right? And he still lives there. It's his house with his family. They are streaming, since they can't have concerts right now. They're streaming all these old archives concerts that they've been stockpiling for years, John. And these are worldwide talents who came through, and you didn't even know, because they were performing to an audience of 80 people. You can now watch them all on YouTube, Facebook, and on their website. They're streaming new ones every day, or you can donate $10 and you get access to all of them at once.
Wow.
You can just binge watch.
Oh, nice.
Really cool, fringe concerts.
Jazz and classical and a little bit of everything.
World music.
Yeah, the stuff it's like what you'd find on a CD at Starbucks.
Yeah, I love that. How are we doing on time?
We're doing good. We can take a little break, though, if you want.
Take a break. Let's take a break.
Let's take a break.
We'll come back and
put some hand sanitizer on.
And we'll tell you about a voice actor who's reading, a famous voice actor reading books, and who's Disney is donating all their food to.
This is Erin from Orange County Library System to tell you about these 3 things. Here are ways you can use your library during our closure. In addition to the 5 credits a month you get with Canopy, they're offering several films as credit-free viewing. Keep checking back as the list will grow as Canopy connects with community partners. The best time to learn a language is under the age of 6. Little ones can use Little Pim to learn 12 different languages. It includes resource guides for parents and teachers and printable lessons. Learn web design, QuickBooks, and more with our live online classes. To get the schedule, click Classes and Events on our website, then select Live Online Class under Category. For information on these 3 things and much more, visit ocls.info or call 407-835-7323. Orange County Library System is your place to learn, grow, connect.
Welcome back to Bungalower and the Bus. I am the Bus, John Bustek.
And I'm ready to check your temperature. Brendan O'Connor from Bungalower.com.
I hope up top and not down below you're going to check my temperature.
You're lucky to get it wherever you get it, John. This week's episode is being recorded from John's backyard. Where
That's right.
We're having a picnic.
We're here in College Park. We ordered some food from some local restaurants, such as The Local and
Orlando Meats, Pom Poms,
Jade New Asians,
Stasio's Italian,
the Italian place,
Tornatore, and if you want more,
and Digress Wine,
we have a whole ongoing list of all of the restaurants locally that are doing pickup, delivery, curbside pickup. If you don't want to go inside, just go to bungalower.com and pull up the list of all of these cool stuff, all these cool restaurants that are just trying to get through this with us, y'all.
Yeah.
And I broke it up by neighborhoods,
Good.
too.
I don't want to come to your neighborhood.
No. Well, also,
Staying in my neighborhood.
the list was so long, it was like, I don't know where any of these are. So I had to start breaking it up.
Have you been to Publix recently?
No, I'm kind of avoiding Publix.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to iFresh,
Okay.
the Asian market at Bumby and Colonial.
Yeah. How was it?
It was actually kind of pleasant.
Nice.
Yeah, everybody was wearing masks.
Uh-huh.
Very nice. The aisles are wider.
Okay.
You know, like everything. I got this giant bag of brown rice for $20.
Oh, you're making rice for a while.
Well, I was like, I'm getting in my hunker down mode too a little bit.
yeah.
You know, like I just thought, in case something comes down the line where we have to stay home, I don't want to have to rush to the grocery store with everybody
That's
else.
a good plan.
Yeah.
That's a good plan.
So I'm making chicken stock, you know, for like easy stuff in the Instant Pot. Tons of like dried goods, and I got flour so I could bake if I need to bake.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
just
I
those
made
little-
my own bread today.
You did.
I
Well,
did.
every day. you make.
Every few days I make my own bread.
You're
yes.
so good, John.
Yeah. But I was in Publix a few days ago. I haven't gone since Monday when things started getting a little crazier around.
Well, we were getting reports of fights over milk.
No, I'm not fighting anybody over milk.
No, just take it.
If
someone was like, someone
I
wanted
don't know
to
why
fight.
you would fight over milk.
Yeah,
Just go to
good.
7-Eleven. There's tons of milk
Yeah.
and nobody was there.
If you want it that bad, you're clearly having a way worse day than I am.
Yeah.
And I'm probably full of CBD gummies and not caring. So just
true.
take the milk.
Take the milk.
Yeah, I'll just water down some yogurt and call it a day.
Speaking of yogurt, I'm out of yogurt. I do got to go to Publix.
I gotta
and get
go to
some of that.
Publix. Before the break, we were teasing. There's a local musician, Andy Matchett. Do you know him?
I do not.
It's a bit of a crooner. You know,
Ooh.
he's hosting an e-telethon, this little online concert that they're going to be streaming on YouTube's called No Days Off. And they're going to just try to raise money for local musicians and entertainers that were affected by the outbreak, which is great because we were just talking about there's not many catch-alls for some of these people. Some of these people, you know, like Eugene Snowden, one of the best local performers we have.
Yeah.
If he's not performing,
Yeah.
where's he making his money?
I don't know.
That's a professional, amazing performer that if he's out in front working a crowd, there's no other money
It's
coming
true. It's true. I guess I worry a little bit about all these live streams. I mean, it's great that they're doing them, but is it a sustainable thing? I mean, can
gonna
you
be a
do them
lot of
every week?
noise.
Can you do them every day? Can you do them every month?
Well, and also our audience is also kind of tapped out too, right? So you're like,
Yeah.
we were just talking before the break about people like Orlando Fringe need some cash, right? Or Orlando Museum of Art, CFC Arts, like, get stuff from them. So everybody's needing some cash,
And they're all they're all canceling their shows, and so I mean that's how they raised money. They do shows, they do performances.
It's easier to, like, if we're trying to support local, food gets, like, you need to eat, right? So
Yeah.
it's easier to just be like, well, I'm going to spend $20 today anyway. I might as well spend it at Orlando Meats versus Burger King, right? Like, direct it to somebody local because that money stays local. That's proven.
No, I
That's
agree.
science. If you
I agree.
spend it, a local dollar stays local versus, you know, supporting local chains. Even though they are owned by maybe some local families. There's a bigger safety net for some of those chains.
Yeah.
So check that out. It's going to be No Days Off. It's on Saturday, March 21st. We actually wrote about it on bungalower.com. If you want to tune in, go for it. That's going to be some burlesque, so you might see some boobs.
Oh,
Actually, since it's online, they can probably show some nipple.
they probably. I don't know what the rules are on YouTube. I don't know if you
I don't know
can
either. You just say it's not for kids and call it a day.
Really.
I
Yeah,
think.
call it art.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
well, they
art.
should probably start with that to get people hooked in right away.
Want to see some nipple?
Or you save it to the later part, and that way people stick around.
Surprise. It's just like Janet Jackson.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, smart. I like
Yeah.
that. The man Josh Gad. Do you know who Josh Gad is?
Yes, he was Frozen.
Yes, he voiced Olaf, the
Oh, I
the
thought he was
snowman.
Elsa. Oh,
Could've been.
I'm thinking of somebody else.
Same person. He voiced Olaf the Snowman in the Frozen movies, and he's reading books every night on his Twitter because he's in California, and they are, meant to stay home right now.
They are. Yeah, especially if you're in San Francisco area.
Cannot leave.
Can't leave.
So he's at home, and he's reading a different book every night to kids on his Twitter, but it's also their parents, and it's blowing up. And I wrote about it, and John, we were getting retweets from people in like Canada and Australia.
Really?
Yeah, it's like people are loving that.
Nice.
So great. I want to see more of those things.
Speaking of libraries, our library system is closed, but you can request books, correct?
Yeah, it's called mail service, and don't ask me what it means because I don't have that in front of me. MAYL. Oh, actually, I might have it.
MAYL.
Buy me some time.
Well, I will say this. So they have home delivery of a lot of their materials, not just books, but you can get books, you can get DVDs, you can get CDs, and they did this before coronavirus, and I would get one every now and then. It's like old school Netflix. They bring it to your house.
Yeah.
And so
in a little blue bag.
And they'll sit it by your porch, and
you don't have to wait because they have their own drivers.
Yeah, and sometimes it takes a few days for it to get to your house. It's not going to come today.
If somebody
usually.
else has it, then they just put you in a list, and you wait until it's available.
But you can order like 10 things, and they'll bring it to you when they can.
And then if you don't want to see anyone, like every branch basically has a drop-off box, so you don't have to see anybody. You can just cruise by and drop it in.
That's what I do.
There's actually a drop-off window at the downtown branch, John.
Yeah, and I go to the one in Fairview Shores, which is closer to my house, and just drop it off right there by that Walmart. But yeah, so I ordered a bunch of movies because, I can stream stuff, but there's a lot of times you can't stream things without paying for them.
Right.
So I wanted to get some movies that I hadn't seen. There's some books that I wanted to read, and so they're going to bring them to my house.
John, I love it.
I love it. It's free.
And also, Scotty Campbell, my man, works for the library.
True.
So
I would still say
I'm
these
biased.
things if he didn't work. He can get fired from the library tomorrow, and I would still say how great.
Knock on wood. I hope
he's
he
not going. He does a great job over there.
If that happens, you have to hire him at the sheriff's department.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. I don't think he would work. He wouldn't want to work there, I don't think. I'll start going to the Maitland Library if they let him go.
Cops,
How about that?
cute cops. Yeah, they're great. You also have streaming access. If you don't, you can hear Audible and
not Audible.
Overdrive, and then
there's another one starts with an L.
Canopy and Loop
something. I use Overdrive. I'm an Overdrive app.
Okay, cool.
They're all kind of the same.
They're all good.
But yeah, you can listen to books. You can read ebooks. It's great.
Let's talk about Disney a little bit.
More?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Disney they're donating all their food to Second Harvest that was left over from the theme park.
Which is great.
Awesome. Second Harvest has been dealing with a dramatic increase in demand for their services, and they help people who are food insecure.
Yep.
Love them. They're doing great work. If you want to help them, just type Second Harvest into Bungalower and you can find some really easy links. But they just closed down their college program.
Who did?
Disney, Walt Disney World did. And it's several thousands of students.
Are they sending them back home?
Yeah.
You got to go.
To wherever they came from. They're not allowed to stay. They shut down the staff accommodations, so they can't stay there.
Wow.
They actually had to leave by Wednesday this week. Sent them packing. And they're not bringing down any more college students until May, John. And they fell, again, it's several thousand roles that they get some cheap labor for things like popcorn vendors and street sweepers. And so those are kind of vital roles to keep.
Is that what those kids are majoring in college? Popcorn making and street sweeping?
Hospitality, event management, really hard hit industries now too. It's just kind of sad, but it kind of tells you more about what the company is thinking about their timeline for opening too.
Well, I just don't think they know what their timeline kind of is, but that could change. That could change tomorrow.
Yeah.
And because they're supposed to open in April, right? They said we're closed until the end of March, and then we're reopening. But that might change come April 1st, and then they don't know what's going to happen on May 1st and June 1st.
Let's guess. Foxtail.
Okay.
Foxtail. We talked about them a couple weeks ago, right? And how people love to either love on Foxtail or just love to hate them.
So I like their coffee. I don't go out of my way to
it's
go
just a
get
coffee
it.
shop, right?
If I'm driving by and I want a coffee and Foxtail's open, I'll go. I'm not going to go 10 miles out of my way to go get one. That's fine. They're in my neighborhood.
They're
I'll
beautiful
stop there.
interiors.
Beautiful. Well, they do a great job in terms of designing their spots.
I know
too.
the owner actually called me because he was like, "Hey, I want to buy everybody in Orlando a drink. Would you guys write about that? Is that even cool?" And
Oh
I was
yeah,
like, I'll write about it.
Just
because I know it's going to be polarizing. Like, to be honest, because it's either like, yes, it's awesome that you want to get everybody a free coffee, which is what he did today, Thursday, at all of his Foxtail locations. Anyone could get any drink that they wanted, and he was just going to do it because he was like, I want some normalcy. I want people to feel a little bit of normalcy.
Okay,
by having a hot coffee and not having
nice
to worry
thing
about the
for
cash.
him to do.
Yeah, I agree. Super sweet. But I also told him, because I knew you have some haters out there, and they're going to be mad because you're telling people to come into your store.
So it was like, come get a cup?
It's takeout.
Oh, it was takeout.
Takeout.
All right. So
don't linger.
So what's the difference between giving a free coffee and then having a restaurant that has carryout food?
John, I agree completely.
Yeah.
But I knew people would flip out, and they did. And so our Facebook comments were fine. Our Instagram comments were so mean, so divisive. I had to do something I've never done, and I shut down the comments.
Wow.
Just because people were starting to like fight enough that I thought they were going to start Googling each other's addresses so they could hunt each other down.
Not your problem.
But you know what? It is kind of.
Yeah.
Because I was providing a platform for vitriol, and people are so upset right now and just feeling like things are out of control that for whatever reason.
So you're saying, those people were saying this Foxtail is encouraging people to leave their
home and get coronavirus
when they're not supposed to.
But yes, I hear that. But every other restaurant is asking you to do takeout right now.
True.
And they're asking you to pay for it.
True.
He's doing takeout and giving it to you for free while also keeping a store open and paying his employees to be there.
Yeah.
Right? I thought it was great. And so I don't know what it is about Orlandoans and companies that are doing really well that makes them get upset with them like that. Like, there's a real love-hate line, which I don't understand. We've talked about this previously. I just don't get it. And I think, and now that I've interacted with them more, I know that they are really, these are just local dudes that just want to give back, and they want Orlando to like them as much as they like Orlando. And it's really sad to me to see how mean people can be with really no reason.
I could see a point if I don't know how many people took them up on this offer. Were they hundreds of thousands of people?
I don't know yet,
coffee?
But I'll be interested to find.
Because I guess I could see if you said, all right, we're giving away free food at pick a really nice restaurant in town.
Yeah.
I don't care. And you're saying we're giving out free food today, and you have 5,000 people that show up like that. That is a dangerous situation. I mean, that's exactly what they're telling people not to do. I'm not saying this is what Foxtail is doing.
No, but
I don't think there was lines out the door.
But that's every other restaurant is saying, like, come in and you get $20 off on your next order. You come in and you get. Someone told me you'll get 10% off if you order 2 entrees. Like, that's their incentive to get people in the restaurants.
Yeah,
they're not working, right? So this is one incentive was offered.
A free coffee.
And it was, I assume, very successful because the way that it was shared, it might have been our most shared Instagram post of the year. Like, insane.
All right.
Insane. And because it was a successful promotion, it crossed a line and people were really upset because none of the other ones, I see other foodies and other people, food bloggers and things sharing incentives about go out and support this pizza maker, go out and support this donut burger maker.
I've seen those too. I mean, every news station has said we need to support our locals, which is great. That's great.
Nobody said anything negative.
Anything. It's just when you give away something for free, I guess, is the line.
Yeah, I guess, but it wasn't with purchase. It wasn't like, it would come in here and if you buy this, you get this. It was like, come in and get a coffee on us. You're having a hard day. And people tore them apart, and I don't think it's right.
All right.
So I'm just going to go out on a limb.
There you go.
And say that's not right, Orlando.
Would you take your free coffee to the beaches in Florida and go hang out there, Brendan?
No. But I'm just kidding.
What do you think of that? What do you think of those people on the beach?
Could we, before I say that, actually kind of ties in. I'm a rational human being most of the time, right? We are always presented with temptations, and us as adults can sit here and make We weigh the pros and cons and make a decision.
Yeah.
Right? I shouldn't be upset that option exists. I should just be okay to walk away from it. And so knowing that the beach is there, yeah, that's tempting. But knowing also that I could get a disease that could potentially give me complications and kill me, I don't need to go. But I'm not going to throw a shoe at somebody because they're going to the beach.
I would disagree. I ain't throwing my shoe at anybody.
A little bit different.
I ain't throwing my shoe at anybody. But I think those communities should shut their beaches down.
I agree too.
I mean, if they're open, yeah. I mean,
that's also I guess there's a capacity issue, right? Because the beach, thousands of people are hanging out at the beach, together for long periods of time, sweating, just hanging out, getting drunk, touching each other,
touching each other's bodies
and beach balls and towels and stuff.
Yeah, no, I think they should probably close the beaches in Florida. At least for the foreseeable future, because that's the only way to stop people from going to the beach. If that's a concern of people gathering,
I agree. But it's a little bit like there's a natural capacity to restaurants of 50 people. How many people can have?
No, that's different
versus thousands of people on a beach.
Yeah, and then the changing rooms there and the restrooms and then all the knobs you got to touch to clean your feet afterwards.
I shared a meme on I shared a GIF that I made on Instagram. It reminds me of Jaws when the mayor wouldn't shut down the beaches of Jaws.
Yeah,
because this will kill us. You can't. It's spring break. No way. Same exact argument.
Oh, exactly. No, that's exactly why they haven't closed them down, because they want people out there. And there's not if you shut down movie theaters and other performance venues and malls and all that. Where's the next place people are going to go do something? The beach. I mean, that's just where you go because it's free, it's outside, and it's something to do.
There are other options. We have great
there are
hiking
tons
trails
of other options
where you won't see another soul. Go to Fashion Square Mall. You won't see anybody there.
I think are they not closed though? Because Florida Mall is closed, right?
Oh, I don't know.
I think Florida Mall and the outlets are closing up. But there are things to do, I think.
We shared a list. Actually, there's of course, because this is one of the millions of roundups we have this week. There's a roundup of things that you can do without seeing anybody. Number one was go to Cape Canaveral.
Yeah.
Seashore, because you wouldn't see as many people.
It's a slower beach.
Beach. You can be naked,
Yeah, if you want. You can be naked anywhere, right?
Yeah. Stop me.
But
tackle me, copper.
I mean, there are places you can go to be away from people. There's lots of state parks that if you really sort of park and walk, you can get away from people pretty quickly. Lots of trails all over Central Florida.
Yeah, we have a great list of trails. I don't think I have that.
I mean, even the Orlando Wetlands Park, they stopped doing their tours there on the golf carts. However, you can still walk around the water.
Go see some gators. The Apopka one, which I've never done, but I've always wanted to.
That one you stay in your car and you don't even have to.
You can?
I think you have to.
Oh.
Yeah, that one, there's some...
People cycle it.
There's different parts to it, but there's a loop that you can stay in your car and drive around.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, no, it's fun. And I go running every day. I'm bragging a little bit here. But I'm not around people. I go run through the neighborhood. I'm not getting close to anybody. So you can go do stuff.
I'm seeing a lot of people outside.
Oh, I mean, so we've talked about this. My wife and I and a woman I work with at the sheriff's office, she's like, I've never seen more people out walking their dogs and going for runs than I have in these last week or so. And I agree.
It's great.
Yeah, I mean,
it's harder for
and...
parks and things. I had to drive through to pick up Scotty after work at the downtown library, and Lake Eola was packed. People are walking through South Eola like it's a market.
Yeah, that's a little too much. That's probably too many people.
But that's the nature of the downtown area where they're living.
I agree.
Right?
But there's other parks nearby you could probably walk to.
Yeah.
Delaney Park,
I agree.
right?
But there's also this downtown thing where people want to see and be seen, so it's hard.
Yeah.
Talking of downtown, we have to revisit it. Orlando. Did we talk about Orlando Weekly?
Very briefly. We didn't say what happened.
They laid off 13 staffers.
And that's a huge number for such a small paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think only one position in editorial. We don't know. They didn't really give us a breakdown.
They sort of said it was all across the board, though, from different departments. And you used to work there.
I did. I was the calendar editor, and then I trained my replacement, Thaddeus McCollum, who is a Jeopardy champion. He's just recently left, actually, of his own accord, and they hadn't replaced him yet. And now they just lost another editorial member. I want to say there's 3-4 people left in editorial.
Oh, yeah, there's not many.
Not many. For a weekly paper like that, we had twice that many when I was there, I think, including interns maybe, putting out that paper. And, man, that is a tough job. And so my heart goes out to the team because I cannot imagine doing that amount of work and quality work with the skeleton crew.
No, I agree. I texted Fayez, their food writer, and he
freelancer.
said he's a freelancer,
Yeah.
so he's gonna keep doing that. He said
They'll be leaning
he said he
on
would
him.
do it if they paid him or he didn't. That's what he told me.
Well, I wouldn't be. They're gonna have. Yes, they cut a bunch of staff, but I assume their freelancer budget's gonna go up a little bit. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Fayez's name there a few more times. This is the same company that owns Creative Loafing in Tampa Bay, and they also laid off people 7. And they actually have 5 other papers around the country, and they laid off people at every single one of their papers.
Wow.
And so Euclid Media was there when I was there, John. And nice guys, but ultimately, that's why they got into events, is because they're trying to make more money.
Yeah, which is
for
fair.
the shareholders.
You got to diversify your if your paper's not making a ton of money, and you can say, well, events might make us some money. I get why they do that.
And it did. It actually worked so well. I actually heard the publisher say once, we're an events company with a news habit, which gross. But I hear him, because that's what they set up for themselves, and that's where they're making the most money, which you could see because their events team was way larger than their tiny editorial staff.
Their parties
and
do
their
well.
sales
People
parties
go.
do great.
Yeah.
Everybody loves them. They were a machine. They left. They got rid of their event manager, Jessica Pauley. Sales and design people. So yeah, it's tough.
And I know there's a news reporter at the Tampa Bay Times, a little unrelated, but a well-known reporter. His name's Craig Pittman.
Yeah,
environmental reporter. They just let him go, and not just him, several other people at the Tampa Bay Times. And I don't know if this is just all coincidence of what's happening this last week, or this was coming
whispers
anyway.
about more coming for Orlando Sentinel. iHeartMedia dropped tons of people just like a month ago, a few weeks ago. So yeah, it's tough, and that's when we need good journalism most, is when we're losing them, but you can't fault them too much, because we're all based on, you're not based on memberships and subscriptions, then you're beholden to advertisers.
It's true.
And in an economy where people don't have money to advertise, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Right?
That gets cut, and then the paper gets cut, and the staff gets cut.
Yeah, we have a very diversified income stream at Bungalower, but we're also a skeleton crew ourselves. So, like, what are you going to do? I think
you're the skeleton crew.
I'm me and our sales exec, and our intern's not even with us because UCF cut their internship program. So it's tough. But John, I hope everybody's happy and healthy. If you're looking for a job, Amazon's hiring 100,000 new positions across the country. We have a link up to that on Bungalower. Stay tuned. Wash your hands.
We got to go, Brendan.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Everything was great. Thanks to the local. Thanks to Digress. Thanks to Pom Poms.
We'll get to you guys. We'll have another pickup
Jade.
picnic soon. Go have a pickup picnic yourself. Tag us in your photos. Let us know you're supporting local.
We'll see you guys next week.